So thanks for the invitation and for this opportunity to share some ideas on why and how to better integrate cooperative entrepreneurship in education policies. I will give you a brief overview of the work we undertake in my division on social enterprises and their connection to education policies. We haven't worked specifically on cooperative entrepreneurship and the links with education, but insofar as we consider cooperatives as part of social enterprises and more widely the social economy, we think that learnings from social enterprises can be applied in this context. Favorable and coherent policy ecosystems are essential to helping social enterprises overcome possible barriers and support their development. And education and skills is one policy area that is particularly relevant to social enterprise development. I will give you here a few elements as food for thought for the discussion, and I will focus on three main questions. Why to integrate social or cooperative entrepreneurship in education policies? What to integrate and how to better integrate social or cooperative entrepreneurship in education policies from a policymaker perspective. First, the why. The context has been characterized notably by an increase of inequalities, complex social problems, digitalization, demographic upheaval, and increased migration flows. Today, the context is mostly characterized by the COVID-19 crisis that has shown the vulnerability of individuals, societies, and economies, and the situation being economic or social will continue worsening. So there is a need to adapt to these significant evolutions and to find strong responses and new solutions that place solidarity, cooperation, and responsibility at the core. We argue that rethinking the approach to socioeconomic and educational policies is one avenue to build back better. Entrepreneurship education can nurture an entrepreneurial mindset while enhancing students' creativity, collaborative skills, and ethical thinking. And to integrate social or cooperative entrepreneurship in education policies is also a way to foster it in the long term and to contribute to sustainable development, in particular by equipping young people to engage actively with social challenges. Yet, we observe that uptake of entrepreneurship education and especially social or cooperative entrepreneurship education is still low in most OECD countries, in particular at the primary and secondary education levels, while the interest among young people in entrepreneurship and in social entrepreneurship has been increasing. This slide mentions some further elements about the impact of education in this area, but I'll let you explore that by yourself. And I will directly go to the second question, what to consider when integrating social or cooperative entrepreneurship in education policies. So the social economy organizations are specific in two ways. First, they address primarily social or social needs. And second, they implement specific business models relying on cooperation, local encourage, and inclusive governance that make them well equipped to answer social needs and play specific roles. Similarly, if we take the case of cooperatives, values of self-help, democracy, equality, or solidarity are an integral part of their DNA. Relying on that, we argue that educational programs on social or cooperative entrepreneurship are relevant at two levels: on the contents of the educational programs and on the pedagogical methods to mobilize. On one hand, regarding the contents, it would help enrich the perspective on the economic systems by showcasing different actors, different economic actors that are present in the system. It is also a way to learn about business creation business creation process, and especially in this case, collective entrepreneurship processes. And finally, it's a way to explore unresolved social challenges and to develop new solutions to them. On the other hand, regarding pedagogical methods, to foster on social or cooperative entrepreneurship is a way to instill specific values in learning formats: participation, inclusion, self-help, democracy. It is also a way to rethink the interactions among individuals and to favor cooperation and solidarity instead of competition. And finally, it would provide labs for democracy and experimentation. This slide presents some examples. I will put the focus on this one, Mon ESS à l'école, my social and solidarity economy at school, which is a French program that supports secondary level students in the process of creation of social enterprises in their school. Between 2016 and 2020, 265 social enterprises have been created, and more than 6,000 students and 800 teachers and pedagogical staff were involved in the program. I will pass to the third question about how to better integrate social or cooperative entrepreneurship in education policies from the perspective of policymakers. Activities that aim to develop young people's skills in entrepreneurship are not yet mainstreamed in education systems, and policymakers can play a critical role in implementing appropriate strategies to foster students' capacity to be entrepreneurial, creative, and able to cope with social challenges. One policy option is about education and awareness raising on the benefits of integrating social or cooperative entrepreneurship in education programs, but also on the assets of social and cooperative entrepreneurship, especially in proposing innovative business models and inspiring more sustainable and responsible economic practices and behaviors. Another policy option concerns the support to specific programs in schools to foster social or cooperative entrepreneurship, to train the teachers on these topics, and to facilitate private-public partnerships. For example, Mon ESS à l'école, or the Coopérative d'initiation à l'entrepreneuriat collectif in Quebec, result from partnerships between schools, social economy organizations, and policymakers, and benefit from public support. Finally, a third option is to take every opportunity to reinforce social or cooperative entrepreneurship in education policies through the other components of the ecosystem. For example, the French law on the social and solidarity economy in 2014 created the Higher Council for the Social and Solidarity Economy that aims, among other things, to promote social entrepreneurship among young people through the public education system. Another example is the Croatian strategy for the development of social entrepreneurship in 2015 that allocates a percentage of its total budget to educational activities. I will finish by pointing some of our works of interest in this area. First, there is the compendium Boosting Social Enterprise Development that has been published in 2017 and that derives policy lessons from the analysis of 20 initiatives in several EU countries and covers a range of policy areas, including education and skills. There is also the Better Entrepreneurship Policy Tool that has been developed by the OECD and the European Commission. It is an online self-assessment policy tool that aims to help policymakers to design, implement, and assess strategies, policies, and programs to boost social entrepreneurship and social enterprise development. Some colleagues are also developing interesting works that nurture the thought on entrepreneurship education, not specifically related to social entrepreneurship or cooperative entrepreneurship, but it remains, of course, relevant for this context. And I will point out the recent report, Missing Entrepreneurs, as well as the work undertaken on this topic of inclusive entrepreneurship. And finally, there is this OECD Global Action in which our unit is involved about promoting the social and solidarity economy ecosystems. This is an action funded by the European Union for a 3-year period, and the main objective is to raise awareness on social and solidarity economy at the international level and to provide guidance to build favorable social and solidarity economy ecosystems. The action focuses on 2 dimensions, the legal frameworks and the social impact measurement for the social and solidarity economy. But of course, it considers the entire policy ecosystem as a framework. And the action is implemented at global and national levels, in particular in all the EU countries, plus 6 non-EU countries, Brazil, Canada, India, Mexico, the United States, and Korea. I will finish here. If you need more or if you want more information, please do not hesitate to visit the Social Economy and Innovation Unit webpage or to communicate with us. It was really a pleasure to share these ideas with you, and I thank you for your attention. Thank you.